my first, it was my first convention. So, and my husband came along, and it's a lovely place, Utah, and it was great to go to the farm and be there, smell the oils. And Melissa was distilled, and that was really grand, to um, even, we just saw the fumes of the Melissa, but it was a very powerful experience indeed. And it was great to have access to all the scientists. I'm a researcher myself, so I had lots of questions. I didn't expect that I would be talking to so many farmers. And what one impression was, notable impression was talking with a farmer in from Hawaii, who talked about Royal Hawaiian sandalwood, and I was not aware it's a parasitic tree. I thought all trees are very giving and generous. It's like, this is the opposite. We take away from everybody else. So there's, of course, lots of philosophical questions I have about that process. And but yeah, it was really tremendous. We got to smell the oils, and one thing I couldn't do, there were too many people ahead of me, I suppose, do the smell test at one of the stations. Which oil is it? And pull out an app. And so I think it was blue cypress in Cyprus, right? So that's amazing. I love both of them. And my sister was on online, and she's going to join me next year. So I think we'll have quite the team coming with me, and I have some plans of doing some educational gatherings during the convention, even though it gets very hectic and we want to be pulled in all kinds of directions. Love the red bar. I didn't know really what to do with the red shot oil, and it's wonderful. Just in Ningxia itself, and
Mm.
then doing a Ningxia and nitro and red shot. It's like, okay, now we're talking bliss. So yeah, so many impressions. I have lots more to share, but I will pass the baton to the next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mecca.
Mm.
Um, so if you're brand new and you're thinking, what Club Red, what is this? It's an actual bar of Ninja Red and our Ninja products. And it is so fun and it just opens your mind to so many things. I will put, if you're part of our groups or part of the Rev Up group, I kept one of their little handouts of all the different drinks that they have. So we'll share some of that too. All right. Who wants to share next? Allie, I know you're on, and of course, I want someone to share about the new oil too. So, what was impactful for you about the convention?
Okay. Couldn't get on audio. First, I couldn't get on camera. The people, I did attend virtually for a couple of years. I did not now, Nina. Sorry. She missed me. Getting to see people that I only see online. I mean, yes, we have gatherings, but I do live kind of a secluded area, the most secluded area that I've ever lived in my life. And I mean, I lived in major cities up until the last 15 years, and this is really secluded. And to have all these, I met so many people. I met so many people. And then I spent a lot of time on lines, but I met all these people. I met people from all countries all over the world.
So
Yeah.
cool, huh?
Countries all over the world, all kinds of states. Like, where are you from? Who are you? Tell me why you're here. So that was the most exciting part. Yes, I missed a lot of workshops, but I've been watching them. I've been watching them because they were recorded. Right? I watch them. Oh, I'm like, oh, I missed this. Oh, well, I'm watching it now. But you know, I
So
was
good.
there at the major events and I got to see you guys in person, you know, that was great, you know, like in for real, for real.
It was
And
so great.
all so many new people. And connected. And I had my watch. It's like not watch, it's this little dot thing. It's like, oh, let's connect, you know, and we were tapping, tap this, you know, and tap this, and it would, and then they'd be my Facebook friend or my Instagram or like in a hot minute, or we exchanged phone numbers.
So cool.
It was
So
great.
cool. That's awesome. So we have the science, we have the community and the friends. How about you, Holly?
All of the above. Like, it was phenomenal to meet both of these beautiful ladies because I've only ever seen them on the internet, and to get to hug them and see them in person was just fantastic. Part of my team is in Utah, so I got to go a few days early and hold some classes and teach them some things, and two of them came to convention with me, so that was a lot of fun. I think the generosity, like Dr. Mary was saying, we're from all walks of life, and we're from, even though they're not on my team, my roommates, none of them were on our team. They were from all over the United States and Mexico, but yet the knowledge they shared, and one of them had that P90 machine that you have, Dr. Mary, that you brought, and I learned a whole lot more about that, and it was phenomenal when we danced all night in our combat boots at the 90s party, and my feet were just screaming at me, and that made it all go away. But also, it's the community, and the Young Living takes such great care to help us to provide the best products on the market. And if you didn't go, there's a whole section at Expo that's just every oil we have. Go study the deep spectra oils. They are phenomenal. And you can talk, like one of them said, all the scientists are out there. You can ask all the questions that you want to ask. And one of the best parts, I got in line because my friend is like, oh, go get in line. They're giving away free stuff. 3 bottles of CBD oil for free. Like, you just get in a line and they give you stuff for free. So it can't be beat. Dr. Mary, I don't think I told you this, but I got home and had 2 packages in the mail when I got home. And this is the beauty of Young Living. One of our Royal Crown Diamond, Miss Kathy Breen, every now and then, not often, but every now and then, she has a fundraiser for someone in our Young Living team that's suffering, whether it be an illness or a fire or whatever. She does some type of collecting. And so I always try and give. And I bet it was $20. It might have been 50. I usually don't go over 50. I got home to 2 packages. I'm talking 2 diffusers, 32 oils, 2 oil cases. Plus, I just can't even imagine, like, this is how loving and giving this community is. It's like, we just want to help people be better. And I think that's what I love about it. We need more of that.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm going to take just a little time out to talk. We love our community, but to talk about deep spectra, because I was going back to listen to the workshop with HK Lin, or part of his presentation there that he did. And he kind of went off script a little bit, and he talked about, well, if you wink, wink, if you saw me in 2007, I'm going to tell you what 2007 convention was about. A lot of you know, through 2012, 2013, 2014, especially, the FDA, not just our company, but all companies, had to be very, very strict. But HK Lin is known for his cancer research. And I sat in that 2011, I think it was 2011, because my son was very little, convention, and watched his cancer research. And I was blown away. And can you guess what oil it is? I don't think Michael, the Miracle Welch, has to guess what oil he was talking about, but it was frankincense. So this deep spectra technology, which is our patented technology that HK can't, Gary's vision was always to have, when you distill, right, the frankincense, you get all these wonderful constituents, but then you lose some of the resin herb constituents, right? So we lose some of that. So this deep spectra combines both HK Lin, LIN, and And so you get all the oil constituents, and then you're getting some more constituents here. And I'll tell you, I've been doing that under my tongue. Holy moly. And when you take the deep spectra, you want to hold it as long as you can under your tongue to get the most constituents in your body. I'm just doing it preventative because what that can do to renew our cells, right? To renew our cells is absolutely phenomenal. So the deep spectra, it's not in all the markets yet. It's not in all the markets yet, but I do believe in time that the deep spectra will come. But this is our latest technology, so it's very, very good. Okay, next I'm going to go to Michael. Again, we're just taking a few minutes on what was as significant to us in the convention, and then we'll kind of piggyback on. So I talked about deep spectra. I do want someone to talk about Legacy 30 and a couple other things too. But Michael, tell us what was significant for you in the Young Living Convention.
Well, this was I think it's my 6th or 7th convention. And I thought it was going to be a little bit better than the 10th and the 15th. But I was blown away. The theatrical crew that puts the opening night on really does a bang up job. I mean, there's no, I'm sure there's others that are much better, but this was, I was blown away. I was very much surprised by all of it. In fact, I even got goosebumps. I'm thinking about it. And my wife said my allergies came up right away. Gary and I always used to talk whenever, he would want to hug me, and I would tell him no, because you're going to activate my allergies again. And I had personally, this was an emotional trip for me. This was my wife's first trip, and I just fly by the seat of my pants. I know where I gotta be, and when I get there, I get there. What I listen to, I listen to. But no, my wife wanted every single minute accounted for. So there was no lollygagging around in the hallways and no talking to people. I got a kick out of the tabletop, or I'm sorry, the kitchen table talks. While we were sitting at the very first one, sitting at this table, I was the only guy, and I said, well, okay, fine. I think it had something to do with the essential oils, uses of essential oils, or something along those lines. And they were all women, so they're all identifying themselves. Well, they're all from Texas, and they didn't know anybody. I mean, they didn't know each other. And then it comes to me, and the woman next to me, she's eyeballing me and eyeballing me, and she grabs my card and she goes, "Oh my God, I know who you are." I said, "Well, I said I thought the FBI took my poster down so I could come to this convention." She says, "No, I saw your picture in corporate. They've got it with," she said, "you had a motorcycle." I said, "Yeah, I did." She said, "But had that weird weird painting on it." I said, "Yeah, that was Barry Young Juice. That was." But anyhow, but the whole Mike the Miracle Welch thing, that was your leader right here. This was the woman who got me off my rear end and tagged me with that. And I will officially thank you if I haven't. I'm sure I have, but it's just, I mean, and there were several other people who recognized me.
I'm going to pause you real quick because there are
Yeah.
people watching the recording who don't know. So Mike has a very miraculous story that we officially can't record right now. So one day we'll get it to you. It's underground. But a very miraculous story of what has happened in his life because he incorporated food, nutrition, Gary's protocols that he wrote in his clinic, and our beautiful essential oils. Not just one miracle story, but two. So his nickname is Mike the Miracle Welch. And I loved posting up his picture on social media. One, because this guy hasn't aged at all in 20 plus years that he's been in Young Living. He looks absolutely phenomenal. But he has a great thing. All right, Mike, anything else that really you loved at convention or you and Mary Grace loved doing?
Well, for my wife, it was all the people that came up to us and just were so gracious, and they all wanted to know about Mary Grace. You know, who are you? How were you able to deal with this person? Number one, and then number two, all the people that did recognize me that came up to me. That was, you know, it was.
You're good.
That was tough, and I will say that when John was doing his ukulele thing, the Gary's famous phrase of "good enough," I think I was crying more than John was, because that's what Gary used to tell me every time he called me. So, and I yield.
That's so good. Tell everyone how old you are.
I'm 74 and growing.
Look at Roy. Look, he's like, look at him. I'll put him on spotlight. Let me pin him around.
I used to tell people, you know, the way I got to look like this was through cigars and bourbon. But no, it's not through that. Yeah, I will do a Barry Young, so I will do a Ningxia Red bottle probably in a day and a half. I walk around the house and I just drink it. And every supplement that you want to take, I'm on. And I learned to do all of this by being recruited to work out on the farms when no one else was there. I'd get a call from Gary's secretary or somebody, or you know, or Kathy's former spouse, and we'd go for a week and do heavy equipment stuff, and all the things that everybody takes for granted now, like plumbing, electricity, water, septic systems, roads, I helped put in, and even some of the best trails, and hopefully some of the worst ones that anybody would travel. But yeah, the 20 years and 6 months, it's been a fabulous ride. I will say that, and I yield. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right. So I know Deborah's on, and also Brenda. Do one of you want to go next and share?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I gotta find you.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You go.
Settled. Yeah, so probably a highlight for me was meeting all of our extended Young Living team. That was pretty incredible. But I wanted to narrow it down to just one of the sessions. You're going to have to remind me of his name, Mary. Is it Glenn Wyatt, the guy with the ukulele?
John.
John.
Yep.
Yeah, so he did a session on how you achieve success. And I think one of the things that really stood out for me in that session was his relationship to Gary, and particularly over here in Australia, much of our corporate don't really know Gary personally. And so I can probably speak for Andrea as well on this point, in that to be in a place where people had personally known and met and loved Gary was so impacting. not because we want to put somebody up on a pedestal, but because Gary was someone who lived so selflessly and has set into place a vision and purpose that just keeps giving and giving for every generation of young living people that come into this company. And so I just felt like we were just washed over with so many stories and with, I suppose, the heart and the passion of who Gary was and what he wanted to achieve. And with this particular session, how he achieved that. Because when you mix these conventions and these get-togethers, one of the highlights of these is being able to rub shoulders with people just as passionate as you about wellness, about ministering to others, about helping see change in your own life and becoming the best that you can be, but also being someone who can then bring that to other people as well. And Gary is the epitome of that. He's someone who was so passionate of being about the best he could be, and then being able to be someone who could bring that to as many people as he could reach. And so the session that John taught was basically Gary's keys to success in doing that for himself, in being able to meet those goals for himself, but also in how he did that for other people as well. So it just absolutely blew me away. If we have a chance to replay that session in any shape or form for the team, that would be absolutely incredible. But it was one that I will never forget. I've got a very dodgy recording for myself that I've told my kids last night. I said, we are going to sit down and rewatch that session because it was incredibly powerful. And just even for their own lives, they need to learn how to put really 4 simple strategies in place for them to be able to reach their goals that they have for themselves, but not just for themselves, but also so that they can be a blessing to others. So that was mine, Mary. I hope that wasn't too long.
Oh, that was great. That was great. John Wetton's, we do need to get that up for our team. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think our last, Brenda, what was impactful for you?
This time I've been to convention many times, and this time I went in a different mindset, and I think that makes a difference when you go. So this time was my vision, what I saw was more in a business mindset, because it was my year to cross stage. It was my year to get my silver trophy. It was my year to have my team there, things like that. So my mindset, what I was seeing was different. And I think that was a beautiful thing, because we all get something different out of convention when we go. And the same thing with John, when he was playing his ukulele, as soon as he started playing, my eyes started leaking, because I had heard him play that same song at Experience YL when I was at the Zermatt this year. So it was just like that rush of emotions all over again. And probably one of the most impactful thing that I experienced was just seeing all the different people. Everybody was just so different, where they're from, how they're dressed, their accent, but they all had a passion for learning more, experiencing more, and just having a love and appreciation for Gary and Mary and Young Living. So my mindset was a little bit different than a lot of attendees there, but it just impacted me in a different but beautiful and huge way this year, and I'm looking forward to next year.
So good. So good. Well, I'm going to first of all, thank all of you for taking the time. I know Deb just got back from 2 days of travel. Some of you just are driving. Some of you aren't even home yet. And I'm just so grateful that you took the time tonight to share, because there's others who are wanting. And some of you are on here and you're like, wait, I want more product information. We got tons of product information for you. Young Living, and I'll piggyback on Brenda, did a excellent, by far the best job this year of really providing things for the brand partner to be successful with. A lot of you have been participating, whether it's the Reset or the Rev Up program that we have. That foundation was laid well over a year ago. And they have coupled down with us to give us products that are very, very strategic. Again, not available in all markets yet, but you will see these things roll out. So we have the Rest and Renewal Kit, right? So we have these new sleep products, very powerful for all our baby boomers, all of us 50 and over, 40 and over. I mean, just about everyone. My autistic son is going to be on these. Like, they are powerful, powerful products. So it's the super magnesium and our deep night spectra. Those two products together, phenomenal products. We talked about the deep, I didn't say deep spectra, whatever I said there, but we talked about the deep spectra products. We talked about the essential oil. I want to know in the comments here below, who can tell me what oil blends are in our new legacy, not how many, Roxanne, but what oil blends are in our legacy 30. Legacy 30. Valor, Shutron, highest potential. I will tell you, I've been testing a lot of people. Valor, highest potential, and Shutron. This oil is not only very, very grounding, but it's very uplifting for our brains, our body. I'm seeing great results with almost every single person I've put it on, and it smells different on you than it even smells in a diffuser. So really powerful oil for grounding. We've already been using that and diffusing that in the office. So again, Young Living really strategized this year to give us the best experience. We've had some hard seasons. We had some very hard years, and they did their best to give us a convention filled with things for us to help us to overcome, whether it was the products, the workshops, the classes, even the keynote. They did their best to really help us overcome. But it was the end for me that was so significant. It was this beautiful concert, country music concert with the sun going down in the lavender fields, where this country music singer was talking about freedom and faith. And really, I just felt this was Gary's vision. This honored our leader, our founder, so well, because our company was based on these two things around freedom and faith. Freedom for us to have the products to help our families at such a high level. Freedom to use the compensation plan and the business program to free our families from traditional, ways of living that we have to live this way, right? And his faith and many of our faiths as well. So I just love this. And I want to challenge you now as you get off this and you get off this recording. I want to challenge you. Young Living put out a international wide contest to go to Bali. And I know some of you, that's your dream. And some of you don't really care to drive or to fly that far or whatever it is. But I want to challenge you because the first qualification is only 10 people over the next 6 months. From July to December, can you share and get 10 people started with Young Living and get them on Essential Rewards? That's my challenge to all of you. Whether you go to Bali or you're running the race, but I do want to know who's running the race so that I can help support you. I want to encourage you to hit that number of 10, that all of us across, if you went to convention and you got all of that information, I want you to challenge you to the number 10, to get 10 people started with Young Living and do that. And if you have challenges right now, you're like, I don't know how I'll do that. We can do some coaching. We can figure that out. But that's my challenge for you, friend. Young Living's given us so much. I challenge you to go out and share what you've learned, how you feel right now. Plan your classes, do all that. Thank you, friends. You have a great night. We have office hours tonight. I will stay on or tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, but I will stay on a little bit longer if anyone can't make office hours this week or has any questions about convention as well. But I will stop the recording.